This is the B-Side Book Reviews, and today we are going to cover Stephen King's The Gunslinger of the Dark Tower series, or at least attempt to cover. So, grab yourself some coffee or some ice water, and let's check out this Stephen King book. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Okay, this is the first line of our book, and yes folks, that's pretty much the gist of our whole story. Just not a whole lot more you can add actually, but let's give it a shot nonetheless. Yes, the enigmatic gunslinger who, with his lightning-quick gunplay, along with his mystifying and lone wolf manly charm, crosses the barren, burning, brutal desert in pursuit of the even more mysterious and somewhat celestial demonic man in black. Why, you might ask? What is the obsession with tracking the man in black that our strong, silent gunslinger carries like a religious vow? Actually, I don't have a clue. So, we read on. While hanging out with some desert hermit, the gunslinger tells about his wild adventures in the quiet, dusty town of Tull. Yes, this is just like a scene from an old western, and I'm thinking this story has to be set somewhere in the late 1800s. Well, I did until those in that saloon start singing the Beatles song, Hey Jude. Alright, so much for the 1800s, but Beatles songs in a town named Tull? Wouldn't a Jethro Tull song be more appropriate? Like maybe Aqualung, maybe? Okay, now I'm not overly sure what's going on here. So, we read on. Seems as though our man in black has already infatuated the good folks of Tull with his charm. And now he does seem a little creepy with the black robe and everything. But perhaps the black robe is just merely a fashion statement, and maybe he's not that bad of a guy. After all, he does bring a little excitement to one of the local wakes when he spits on the corpse. Spits? Okay. Don't fret though, because it's all in good fun to bring a little life to the party. Literally. Yes, he brings the guy back to life. Okay. So maybe this man in black isn't such a bad guy after all. I mean, the gunslinger certainly didn't carry out such divine interventional things when he blows into Tull. All he does is bed Allison, the chick working at the saloon, and then he manages to tick off the local creepy religious preacher chick, Sylvia. Sylvia, who's got the hoodoo on the entire town. Such as it is, perhaps that's why all the fine local folks of Tull just kind of zombie out and attack our gunslinger, and then he has to gun them all down. Or maybe that pesky man in black has put some kind of hex on them. Wow, don't you just hate it when that happens? So, what does this all mean? Still haven't the foggiest. So, we read on. Our gunslinging hero then comes across some deserted old way station. Here he befriends the local youngin' Jake. Well, Jake's the only guy there, so he kinda has to. So, where did this Jake feller come from? Oh, I believe it was New York City. Okay, how did that happen? Well, he got run over by a car in Manhattan. alone in an Old West setting. Okay? Alright, now what does that have to do with anything? I still don't know. I'll keep reading, maybe. Well, the gunslinger gives Jake a jawbone for luck, which, of course, anybody would do, and they make their way out of the desert on a railroad pushcart. Now, along the way, they're attacked by slow, mutant, monstrous, subterranean creatures. But, you know, these things happen. Well, poor Jake gets lost in the abyss, and the gunslinger finally meets up with the man in black. Of course, I'm not sure where or how or why. This is mostly because by then I had completely lost interest in the gunslinger or the man in black or this dark tower thing they're supposed to be looking for, whatever. And just what the heck is this dark tower thing? Sorry, don't have a clue. Guess I'll read on. Oops, can't do that. The book is finished. Oh no. Maybe it was all the artistic and deep, meaningful gruel that I had to wade through that caused me to lose focus on this book. Or maybe my mind just kept drifting while I was reading this book because I was so preoccupied. Yes, preoccupied with trying to win the best presentation at the yearly 5S convention at work. Best presentation for the third year, I might add. Okay. Then again, maybe I was just preoccupied with the cool book cover and I expected more. Okay, I guess I'll just have to read the next book. And I'm guessing it will have another cool book cover. Now, confusing story aside, King does give us some most promising characters. So, I'm guessing the gunslinger is some kind of Jedi Knight, or Templar Knight, or Green Beret, or someone who is just really pissed off. Now, the gunslinger almost kind of had that eerie Clint Eastwood High Plains Drifter thing going on, where I could almost hear that familiar little tune going on. And of course, I had a great time trying to imagine him flicking the bullets into his revolver as he was gunning down the good zombie folk of Tull. Now that alone will be worth checking out the movie. I'd love to see him do that. Boom, boom, boom. Of course, the gunslinger was only part of our hero. What about the younger version of him, the one named Roland? This guy was the one who advanced up to gunslinger status at the age of 14 by using his hawk David as his weapon, using this weapon to kick his teacher's court's ass. I certainly hope that scene is in the movie. And what about the man in black? Wow, there are a lot of men in black according to Wikipedia. However, just who is this guy? Now, he raises the dead like Jesus, dresses a bit like a priest or a Jedi Knight, depending on your own religion, and has this really badass, mysterious name of Walter. Walter? Okay, nothing against the name Walter. It's a good, strong, masculine name. But I was hoping for something a bit more mystifying, or maybe demonic. Come on! The raven in the book is called Zoltan. Why couldn't that be the name of the man in black and call the freaking raven Walter? Okay, I'm not one to judge. Oh my gosh, I really need to hurry up and see this movie. Yes! Okay, I've been admiring this really cool book cover for years, and with the movie coming out, I just couldn't wait to read it. Now I just can't wait to see the movie. So maybe I'll have some idea what the book is supposed to be about. Because quite frankly, I got lost several times. Okay, yes, I know. It all seems simple enough. The gunslinger goes through the desert after the man in black. Well, simplicity can be pretty confusing. Of course, all I could think of when I started reading the book was the man in black. So what does this gunslinger dude have against Johnny Cash? Keep reading, right? Now, one of my co-workers and fellow bookworms and resident geeks told me that the book was a classic good against evil story. Well, the gunslinger didn't seem all that good to me, and the man in black didn't seem all that bad to me. So that didn't help much. Okay, so I had other things on my mind while I was trying to read this. Work stuff on my mind. I was pretty preoccupied with the 5S presentation I was trying to put together at work while I was reading this story. So I kept trying to throw in all the 5S principles of set, sort, shine, sustain, standardize, all within Stephen King's writing. And that just didn't work out very well. Okay, maybe the movie will clear things up for me a bit with this story. That is, if it makes it to the discount theater before I lose any more interest in this story. Okay, so there we have Stephen King's The Gunslinger of the Dark Tower series. Now, from what I hear, there's like 7 or 8 of books in this series. And as a lot of people tell me, if you're not going to read the whole series, don't read any of them. So, I guess that means I'll be reading 7 or 6 more of these. That's going to be a while though. I'm still working on the Game of Thrones series. So anyway, we have lots of reasons to go read a book.